there's a lot going on in First Love that kind of makes it stand out from the typical romance dramas between the setting with the economy and everything. What about the script drew you to the project?
Do you know what? The script itself was so nice and natural and gentle, but also I loved, like you mentioned, the not necessarily juxtaposition, but just the jumping between and the kind of mirroring the worlds of love and intense love in a relationship, and how you nurture it at the start and how you
Mhm.
nurture it years and years and years on with Jim's parents. And I think to tell a romance story in that nature doesn't happen too often. And specifically, I've been aware after doing the After franchise that if I were to do another romance, I'd quite like the character to be quite different and the story to be quite different. And it was exactly that. And I mentioned in the previous interview that I was reluctant to do another romance so soon after. And after speaking to AJ and his, kind of confidence in the project and confidence in me and confidence in me playing the character, is kind of what drew me to it.
Awesome. And was that chemistry between you and Sydney natural, or did it take time to get to know each other before you could portray that?
Me and Sydney just get on really well. Like
Oh, nice.
she's so positive and just like, she just feels like she's done this a million times and she's just ready to have fun while she works. And she's just always, singing, dancing and being bubbly. And then suddenly we have to do a dramatic, intense scene and she's just right into it. So yeah, her just constantly positive, confident nature just kind of sieved into everyone else, including me. So
That's awesome. And is there anything that, like, a message that you hope people kind of take away from First Love?
yeah, I mean, I think there's probably quite a few, but I think there's quite a few, but specifically from Jim's point of view, I think being patient and aware that things come and things go and things change, and to never kind of, I don't know, it's tough with First Love because, and I mean that in the not in terms of the film, but just in terms of the statement, your first love is such a intense, just it feels like the end of the world if it doesn't work out kind of thing. And I feel like an important lesson to take from this is whether it does or doesn't, that was meant to be.
Mhm. No, definitely. And you did a really great American accent in the movie. Like, I didn't know that that wasn't your natural accent at first. So did that take a lot of practice, or was that kind of natural to do?
Can I tell you how nice that is for me to hear from you? Because before, I've done so many auditions with American accents and I feel like I'm confident in it, and I can do it. And the night before this, I had a great dialect coach called Joy, but because of the nature of films, when you take one, you're working on another, sometimes you don't have as much time as you'd like with a dialect coach and to practice the accent and stuff. And I did a fair bit. And on the night before, I called Joy and I said, like, I'm really nervous. Can I recite a couple of lines to you? And I did. And she said, here, but that was not your best performance, but it's because you're in your head. I've heard you say these a million times. You've got this, relax. And it was definitely something for me that was a big challenge, and something I was apprehensive about. So thank you so much for saying that, Spence. I appreciate that, man.
Oh, absolutely. It was great. And you know, how different was acting in First Love to After? Because they're both romances, like you said, but they're definitely not the same tonally. So, was it
Yes.
difficult to adjust to that?
Do you know what? Not necessarily. I mean, it came with its challenges just because with After, I feel like now I walk in and I'm like, oh, put this suit on again. I know this guy through and through. I know this world, and it's kind of easier to slip back into. So it was a bit of a challenge at the start, but it was also the reason I was so compelled to the piece, was telling myself, if I'm going to do another romance, it makes sense for it to be the other side of that coin. And as you said, different tonally. And I think it really is. And again, it was a little bit of a challenge, but definitely that challenge is what attracted me to doing the role.
Absolutely. And even just the characters of Jim and Harden are so different. Do you prefer one type to the other, or is it just a fun challenge to go between them?
I've said before, I think um I will eventually find out that I prefer doing some to others, definitely. But I think I'm still so early on in my career. I learned
Mhm.
so much about myself playing those characters that I probably wouldn't know beforehand. So no, I think I do like the balance. I think I do like the balance. I'm not yet in a position to say I love playing that kind of character. Having said that, there are times when I would have liked Jim to lash out like Hardin does, and there's definitely times where I'd like Hardin to be a bit more composed, like gym is. So yeah, definitely pros and cons, pros and cons. I think I love jumping back and forth.
Yeah, maybe you'll find that middle character who's
Eventually,
who's the
probably
mix.
very late on in life, I'll finally figure out who I'm good at playing, who I'm best at playing.
Perfect. And you've done some audiobooks too, both as Harden and like as a narrator and stuff. How different is acting on camera to acting with just your voice?
Completely different, but I feel like other actors might say it should be the same, like you should approach it in the same way, but I think I take a slightly more kind of logical, methodical approach, and I definitely do put more of my focus into my voice rather than my being. And it's kind of more difficult and easier in different ways because it's, I don't know, it's a bit less natural and you have less to feed off because you're not visually in the environment.
Yeah.
But then you have fewer tools to work with because you can't convey emotion with physicality and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely, again, something that I love to jump between and keep challenging myself on. But I do prefer to use my whole body in physical form as well. But no, I love doing an audiobook here and there.
Awesome. And in another interview, you said that you wanted to do more crime genres. What about that genre really draws you to it?
I don't really know, I don't know. I actually try and delve into this. I don't know why I think I just love watching. I'm finally watching The Wire. I used to watch episodes with my brother where he was, and it's just like the gritty nature and the you don't know who's going to get it. No one's safe. This cat and mouse with, usually you have police or criminals, and I just think it's just like kind of limitless setting for great entertainment. And it's I guess essentially my most honest answer is it's what I love to watch. So
Yeah.
I always find this question difficult to delve into, but I think it's just for some reason that's just one of my favorite genres. I think it's just the intensity. You're always going to get a chase. It's always high stakes.
Yeah.
So, do love a crime drama. Yeah.
Sick. And so you've got over, last when I checked, like 7.5 million Instagram followers. How does that kind of like support inform your work?
Honestly, and I have to say specifically because so many of them come from the after fan base, I feel like I have I feel ridiculously blessed and grateful to have a fan base and support system that kind of allow me the confidence and freedom to go and try any genre. And if it flops, I know that love might not last forever, but I have so much confidence in going into whatever style, type of movie, genre I want, because and I really hope I never take this for granted, but I'm so lucky to have a fan base that did come from after, that does follow me through whatever else I do. And it really gives you the confidence to go like, I can do whatever I want because these people will, in terms of what movie you take, because these people will support you in it. And then naturally they'll hopefully honest with their response and then guide you in a way that to a place of doing good work that the audience and the people really love. So, but I could sit here for hours and say how grateful I am, because it really allows me to keep doing this and talk to you and have this incredible job. And no, I'm eternally grateful to those fans. I need more ways of saying thank you because they have given so much to me.
Yeah, that's really incredible. And what was it like to turn a bit? You were in one of, I think your second major movie role was Harry Potter. What was it like to be in such a huge franchise so early in your career?
I think secretly it was so good for me, because for me, the stakes weren't high. For me, I was doing it for days off school. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved Harry Potter. It was one of the first things I saw in the theater, and one of the first kind of things you go, oh, there's another one. There's another Harry Potter. When does the new one come out? And you really follow it and everyone becomes fans. And to be a part of it was a big deal. But then once I was there, Michael Gambon between takes is talking about his new Audi R8 and, just having fun. David Yates is just an incredible people person, and even at that age I felt like he was on my level, just talking to me as a friend. It didn't feel at all overwhelming or like I had to get it right. And I think that led me on to be in a position when I was doing auditions or other roles to not put so much pressure on myself. So I think to do something so big at such a young age, before I realized how important and how much pressure there was and how high the stakes are, I think that really set me up well to be a bit more confident and comfortable and relaxed moving forward.
Awesome. And my last question, I saw on Instagram you're a huge football guy. Would you be open to portraying a football player in a movie, like a famous one?
I would pay a studio to let me play a footballer in a film. So yeah, just wait on that. I just also feel like with something that's so close to close to my heart, and the idea that in reality not enough soccer or football films get made for you to be in loads, or you don't want to waste a token on it, essentially. So I'm aware that because of how much I love to play that character, I'm aware that the role and the project has to be perfect. But I'm sure it will be. Watch out for that. I don't know when it will come, but bro, like I said, I will pay to be a part of a film like that.